Good afternoon and welcome to the first Studio G of the season. On today's show, we'll have an update on Thursday's deadly shooting on the Strip.
We will have information on a fire near campus.
And we sit down with nonprofit martial arts trainer Lance Parvin. All this and so much more right now on Studio G. Hello and welcome to the first Studio G show this season. I'm Austin Enney.
And I'm Heather Fairberger. Breaking news right now in Studio G. There was a fire near the UNLV campus this morning. This occurred near Hacienda Avenue and Maryland Parkway. The cause of the fire was lit candles and was declared by the Clark County Fire Department as an accident. One person escaped the blaze and there were no injuries to people, but a pet bird was lost to the flames. There was damage to the left side of the single-story house that is estimated at about $75,000. The fire occurred at 7:47 this morning and was under control just after 8 a.m. The American Red Cross offered assistance to the occupant, but the person had family across the street and did not require it.
And now for an update on the deadly shooting and crash that took the lives of 3 and injured several others early Thursday morning. Studio G's Ryan Thorpe is at Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo Road, where it all took place. Ryan?
Thank you. Yes, as you mentioned, I'm here at the intersection of Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo Road. Police have identified 26-year-old Amar Harris as the shooter and driver of the Range Rover involved in that incident. Harris is described as a black male, 5 foot 11 inches tall, approximately 180 pounds, with several identifying tattoos, including a heart underneath his right eye. According to Metro, Harris was in an altercation with the driver of the Maserati, 27-year-old Kenneth Cherry Jr. at the Aria Hotel Valet at about 4:30 Thursday morning. Shortly after the two vehicles left, Harris allegedly opened fire on the Maserati while they were both driving northbound on the Strip. Cherry, who also goes by the name Kenny Clutch, was fatally wounded, causing him to accelerate the Maserati through a red light at the intersection behind me, crashing into several vehicles, including a taxi cab. The cab exploded, killing the driver, Michael Bolden, and his passenger, Washington State resident Sandra Sutton. 4 other people were treated at UMC, including a passenger in the Maserati. Police say Harris fled the scene in the Range Rover. That SUV was impounded by Metro after it was spotted at an apartment complex at Flamingo and Koval. Now, Harris is still on the loose and is considered armed and dangerous. Police are encouraging anybody with information on his whereabouts to call Crime Stoppers at 385-5555. Reporting at the intersection of Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo, for Studio G, I'm Ryan Thorpe.
Thank you, Ryan. We have a picture of Amar Harris, and like Ryan said, Harris is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers at 385-5555.
More fire news. A blaze occurred near Woodbury Middle School Sunday afternoon. The fire caused about $75,000 in damage. There was flames on the side and the top of the single-story house. 3 people escaped the fire and no injuries occurred. The Clark County Fire Department had it under control at around 3 p.m. The American Red Cross offered assistance to the occupants, but they had family in the area and did not require it. The fire is still under investigation by CCFD.
The New Again art exhibit at the Barrick Museum on UNLV's campus has something for everyone. Reporter Stephen Marsh has more.
The Marjorie Barrick Museum on the UNLV campus has a The Marjorie Barrick Museum on the UNLV campus has a new exhibit that features some of the latest contemporary works. The New Again art exhibit is their newest collection and features recent acquisitions from the Las Vegas Art Museum.
Something that's really unique is we have the contemporary and the modern art in the front gallery, and then we have pre-Columbian and Mesoamerican art in the Bronstein Gallery, and it's sort of that mix of cultures. But you can still, it's really interesting, at least with the show we have up right now with the textiles, you can see they still sort of talk and communicate with one another, the ancient and the modern.
The Barrick Museum relies heavily on volunteers to help spread the message and make the museum an enjoyable experience for everyone.
Very enjoyable because it's a group effort that yields some sort of result that you can see. The exhibition, for example, was partly the work of the volunteers. We helped to hang some of the artworks, we discussed the artworks, and that is wonderful.
In addition to the museum providing great art for visitors, the museum provides a variety of different programs that cater to all types of people.
Kids programs, which is a story time every day that we're open. We also have a film series. We'll be putting together a lecture series, and we do give tours.
Doesn't matter the type of person, artistic or not, the Barrick Museum has it all.
It's a contemporary art museum that's welcoming to any sort of level of thought. Whether you're, a 3-year-old, you can come here and take a tour, or high school, freshman in college, an older person that's been in art for, 20 or more years. It's really for all levels.
As for the museum volunteers, it's the variety of people with the different backgrounds that adds to the overall experience.
There's a dynamic set of people that volunteer here. It's not just art students, it's hospitality, business, French majors, philosophy, anything. Anybody can come here and volunteer and get a wonderful experience.
Barrick Museum, they're open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursdays, they're open until 8 p.m. Saturdays, they're open from 12 to 5. Come out and check out all the exhibits they have here. Also, you can put up your symbol here on the What's Your Symbol wall. For Studio G, I'm Stephen Marsh.
Thank you, Stephen. Make sure to tune in next Monday here on Studio G as Stephen goes more in depth with the exhibits with the people from the Barrick Museum. That's next week right here on Studio G.
Our very own Bree Bradley goes behind the scenes of 2 local college students racing to build a functional race truck in 30 days.
Building a car is a task that leaves many in a state of confusion, let alone building a race car. 2 Las Vegas students have challenged all odds in the hopes of constructing a fully operational race truck in 30 days.
Well, I went to the Baja 1000 with PJ, and I just saw the trucks. It was like, I'm gonna build a race truck.
Driver, mechanic, fabricator, Kevin Benally is doing it all with the help from a few dedicated friends, including his co-driver, Cameron Wells.
I've done a bunch of stuff up with him on Craigslist. That's how I met him. I posted an ad saying I do bumpers and stuff, and I ended up building the truck for him, and we ended up hitting it off. And the next thing you know, he came up to me and said, "You want to build a race truck?" Yeah. He said, "Do you want to race it with me?" And I said, "Yeah."
News soon spread around the off-road industry. 2 guys who hardly knew anything about the sport were building their own truck in 30 days in hopes of racing it in Primm, Nevada. Come to find out, 30 days was actually a grace period in their minds.
The main reason I wanted to build a truck is Primm is coming up, and I always told myself that's going to be the first race I would race. I have a full-time job, so we actually were only able to work on the truck 2 days a week. Yeah, so if you think about it, it was 8 days. We had 8 days. I live by truck sometimes, so pretty much got the truck done in 14, 15 days.
But a time restraint wasn't the only obstacle Kevin and Cameron had to deal with. That full-time job meant keeping the truck drivable for Kevin to get back and forth.
How would I have done it with a truck that wasn't a daily driver? So maybe it would be able to be apart for longer than maybe 2 days at a time. We had to put it back together.
You're serious?
Yeah. And then I finally registered a truck that was been broken at my house and got it insured, so that way he could drive that.
With such little time put into this vehicle, many are skeptical that Kevin and Cameron will even finish, but these 2 keep optimistic.
Well, I mainly want to finish. It'd be nice to get a podium.
Off-road racing has always been a sport that has taken a lot of dedication, and this 30-day build has brought it to an entirely new level. If you want to see how Kevin and Cameron do on their upcoming off-road race, be sure to tune in Wednesday to Motorsports Minutes. For Studio G, I'm Bree Bradley.
Thank you, Bree. We wish the best of luck to those 2. When we come back, Jamie Seymour has insight on achieving academic success on campus.
And Alexis Mers will have the weather, so stay right here on Studio G.
Welcome to the Art Department at UNLV, where students can express their creative side. You can also check out the current exhibits at the Grant Hall Gallery, Jesse Metcalf Gallery, and Donna Beam Gallery of Fine Art. featuring recent artwork displays by students, staff, and local artists. Whether your forte is taking photos, painting a picture, or carving a sculpture, make sure to check out the UNLV Art Department located in the Alta Ham Fine Arts Building.
It's convenience. It saves me a lot of money because I'm on a meal plan basically, and it saves me time because I don't have to walk across the street. It saves me gas because I don't have to drive anywhere to eat, and especially being a lazy college student, I can just walk right over here when I'm hungry and not have to wait that much longer to get food.
All right, well, this is our very first weathercast. Alrighty, we are at a very comfortable 49 degrees.
Make it up. It's cold.
What are we doing?
Just keep talking about the weather. Just make something up about it. It's being cold.
Hold on. We are sitting at a very comfortable 49 degrees, 52 actually, nice and sunny, no winds right now. A lot better than the weekend we just had, covered with winds all over the valley. Alrighty, our high is going to be 52 degrees and a low at 35. We were a lot warmer in 1986, so we're not even close to our average right about now. All right, if we take a look at our current weather, in Eureka we have a nice sunny 31. If you go down to the Nellis Air Force Base, at a comfortable 50 degrees, nice and sunny, and 51 in Mercury. And if we take a look at our national weather, we're going to go in the south where we're getting a lot of winds from Texas. We're getting a lot of winds from Texas to Tennessee, and most of the rains are going to go into the southeast part of the nation, over the Carolinas and the northern part of Florida. Watch out for possible flooding. Alrighty, and if you look at the current weather, in Sacramento we're at a comfortable 57 degrees, Los Angeles nice and sunny, 65, and in Miami, of course, always sunny in Miami, 84 degrees. And tomorrow's forecast, 58 in Mammoth, going down to Nellis Air Force Base, comfortable 60 degrees, sunny, and in St. George, 53. And for this week's outlook, we're gonna start off in the low 60s, over into the mid 60s, and then we're gonna finish off the week nice and warm, and we're warming up in those nice and early 70s. All right, and that's all the weather I have for you today. This has been Alexis, now over the sports with Eddie.
Hello, I'm Eddie Vargas, and welcome to your latest sports news on Studio G. How about them Running Rebels putting a whooping on Wyoming, 65-42, and coming off their third consecutive win in a row. Kim Burge led the team with 12 points and a career-high 14 rebounds in a game that was dominated by UNLV. Congratulations, Rebels, but make sure we beat our in-state rivals UNR this upcoming weekend. Another team that was hot this past weekend was the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's what we will begin with. In a game that was decided in the final seconds, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Dallas Mavericks 103-99. Dirk Nowitzki had a season-high 30 points, but the player of this game was Kobe Bryant, scoring 38 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. 14 of those points were scored in the fourth quarter, and Kobe Bryant helped close this game out on the road, getting his team a victory. Let's go to NASCAR, where the Daytona 500 was raced this past Sunday. The race was won by Jimmy Johnson, winning his second Daytona 500, becoming the 10th driver with multiple wins in the great race. But another person to make history this day was female racer Danica Patrick, becoming the first woman to lead a lap in the Daytona 500 when she charged in front on lap 90. Speaking of women warriors, UFC 157 had its first female fight in UFC history. Ronda Rousey defeated Liz Carmouche by submission in first round with an armbar, defending her bantamweight title. Well, that's one girl's heart you would not want to break. That's all in your sports news. Make sure you tune in tomorrow with Justin Fuller. He will have the latest sports info. Now back to the anchors, Heather and Austin.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Very well done. Well, do you want to have your voice heard? Well, here's how. Gets into full swing on UNLV's campus, so are all the extracurricular activities. One unique opportunity lies with the 91.5 KUNV HD2 radio station, a station dedicated to the students. All of the DJs and hosts at this station are students, and anyone can get a radio show after a quick training course. While the station is starting to grow in popularity, they're also beginning to gain more awareness with listeners, thanks to events just outside the student union. Student radio personalities Ryan Arison and Bianca Valdez explain.
Basically, we just came out to give the students of UNLV some free stuff. We have tickets, posters, sunglasses, phone covers. It's a ton of cool stuff. You know, we like to be part of the community, which is why we come out and do this. We want to be out here at least once a month. So anything we can do to bring awareness to the station, we're going to do.
I really enjoy just the station. Being in the studio is a really good relaxer for me, you know what I mean? It's just with your headphones on, you have your headphones on, you're tuned out to music. It's the same thing as being in the studio. And I love being able to take requests from people. People actually call me up, request songs and everything. So it's good to be a voice, for our radio station here at UNLV.
All they have to do is come down to the station and talk to Dave Norris, our operations manager. And he does training at least once a semester. So that's all. It's really that easy. You go through the training. It's 3 classes. You shadow a jock who's already working at the station a couple times, and you can get a show just that easy.
For more information on the station itself and for how you can get involved, visit rebcast.com.
One department on campus is looking to help UNLV students and incoming freshmen. Jamie Seymour has more.
The Academic Success Center is a program on campus designed to help students discover their majors and find that perfect balance in school.
We have an amazing academic advising unit, and those folks help our students who are exploring majors primarily decide on what major to get into, and that's often linked to a career choice.
With a great team of academic advisors, the ASC is ready to help any student that comes in.
So we try to make the navigation through the university easier for the student, a little less scary and more understandable as well.
The Academic Success Center is now trying a new program for underclassmen and high school students that will help them prepare their academic schedules for college.
And now we have a whole new program for our first-year students, and we're looking into supporting our sophomore year students. And to add all kinds of good stuff on top of that, we have an early studies program for high school students, and we've launched a new scholarship program, the Hickson Lead Scholars.
With a new online tutorial for incoming freshmen to learn about class requirements, the advisors hope to make connections with the students and help them plan for their academics while giving them support.
What we're trying to do is really connect with students early on. The motto in the Academic Success Center is early and often. And so we're really trying to connect with students more and in a more meaningful way prior to their arrival on campus.
We cover a lot in the area of support, and we are very proud of that.
If you are currently exploring a major and would like some assistance, or you need some guidance with your academics, come down to the Academic Success Center today. For Studio G, I'm Jamie Seymour.
If you are still searching for the right major for you, check out the Academic Success Center today, located across from the Student Services Complex.
Saturday, racers hit a speed bump at the Daytona Speedway in a crash that left at least 28 spectators injured. NASCAR President Mike Helton has more.
I think that's the key of working with NASCAR, and I think NASCAR's done a great job with all the safety things that they've added to, whether it was the Car of Tomorrow or the Gen 6. And so I think the key is we sit down and review everything in terms of what happened. And I think NASCAR, from a competition perspective, will probably continue to address that, and we'll be happy to do it. And I think the same thing happened following the 2009 incident, which caused us to relook at our policies and bring in a firm to take a look at what we do, and we've made improvements since then. So I think that's the key, that we learn from this and figure out what else we need to do.
Work towards placing greater safety measures in place to prevent an event like this from happening again.
When we come back from the break, Allison Whitley will sit down with our first Studio G guest, Lance Parvin.
And we'll bring you last night's Oscars highlights, so don't go anywhere.
Where was the moment we needed the most? You kick up the leaves and the Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me your passion's gone away, and I don't need no carrying on. You stand in the line just to hit a new low. You're faking a smile with the coffee to go. And tell me your life's been way offline. You fall into pieces every time, and I don't need no carrying on, 'cause you had a bad day.
I'm Allison Whitley, and I'm joined with Lance Parvin, who's the founder of the Cultural Arts Training Foundation. How are you doing today?
I'm great today. Thank you, Allison, for having me.
No problem. Can you first just start out and tell us a little bit about your nonprofit organization? It's nonprofit, and it gives a lot of interesting things. Can you just tell us
Sure.
about that?
The Cultural Arts Training Foundation was founded in 2011, and we started this on the idea of improving health and movement through fitness and martial arts training. I started seeing a lot of programs out there that really didn't address someone's limited motion. So we designed programs to work with disabled, disadvantaged children, seniors, domestic violence victims, wheelchair-bound individuals, and even addressing bullying.
And I know it started in 2011, but you've been doing this for a lot longer. What made you decide to get into this kind of area?
I think the big thing that made me start this program was in 2010 I was actually involved in a head-on collision, which caused damage to the cervical portion of my spine and kind of had me reevaluate my training, and a lot of the programs that were currently out there didn't address issues. They were very good theoretically, but then the actual hands-on application, it didn't really make sense. So we wanted to address and make it more realistic where anyone could do these programs rather than a one-size-fits-all. It's more or less these programs are fit to the individual rather than the opposite way around.
That's right. And I know there's things for women, for battered women. There's a foundation for that, and then you're also having a new bullying for children, and you actually have a event coming up, an anti-bullying event. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, March 4th at our facility, we're doing the Child Empowerment Program. Unlike most programs that we've seen, this kind of addresses the issue on a 3-tier system. So it's verbal de-escalation, more or less avoiding the altercation if you can't, realistic self-defense, and then kind of the newest phase that we kind of employed was mentoring, which is making sure the victim doesn't become a victimizer, at the same time helping the family with coping mechanisms and stuff like this. So it's not just like, great to see you, we'll never see you again. We want this to be kind of an ongoing community outreach program to where someone can learn about the whole family.
And bullying is a very big issue right now in the country and everywhere. What is important for kids to have this knowledge of bullying and being able to have a place they can go to feel safe?
I think it's a kind of a two-pronged thing where you want the family and the educational system involved. I think too many times people are blaming each other where it's the school's fault or it's the family's fault. I think by both of them understanding maybe the signs of bullying and addressing that and, getting better communication with your child, the same thing when the child goes to school, it's at that point the administration and the teacher's responsibility to kind of address the issue and make sure that there's kind of a no tolerance policy. That's really what we want the program to be about, so it's kind of a growth in communication as well.
All right, that's all the time we have today, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And like I said, it is nonprofit. We are heading it back to the desk for more news, but we after the break we'll see you again. Thank you.
The School of Engineering, located on the northwest side of campus, offers a wide variety of classes and activities. The Great Hall inside the Thomas T. Bean Engineering Complex features an array of the school's accomplishments and work, such as their annual cement canoe competition and bridge design competition that select students participate in. Named after Howard Hughes, this school takes learning to new heights.
HIV testing is now available at the Student Health Center inside the Student Recreation and Wellness Building. Testing is free to all students that have paid their health fee and is available on a walk-in basis only. No needles are used and the results are ready the same day. For more information, contact the Student Health Center at 702-895-3370 or email them at shc@unlv.edu. You must have a Rebel card to get tested, and results are confidential.
Last night, all the stars came out to celebrate one of the biggest nights in Hollywood. Winners include Argo for Best Picture, Anne Hathaway for Best Supporting Actress, and the big winner of the evening, Best Actor, Daniel Day-Lewis. Day-Lewis was awarded the Oscar for the film Lincoln and is now the only actor to hold 3 Oscars for Best Actor.
And Heather, I mean, I thought it was a great night for the Oscars. Thought Seth MacFarlane did a great job. How about Jennifer Lawrence taking a spill and being
She's
graceful as
fantastic,
always?
though. She is a breath of fresh air.
Thought it was a very good night.
It was.
Summer is almost here, and many people are looking for motivation to get in shape.
Making time for fitness is not always easy, but it can certainly be a life-changing experience. In 2011, Timothy Riley and Alejandro Belmares formed Ninja Endurance Racing. They enjoy helping others achieve fitness goals in order to promote a healthy and honorable lifestyle. The running team races in various competitions and charity events all over Las Vegas.
I wanted to help kids who weren't considered to be good athletes be good athletes. I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to try a sport that they could succeed in a good, positive environment. We're a really tight, close-knit group in the sense that, again, when one struggles, we all struggle. If one succeeds, we all succeed.
Ninja Endurance Racing believes finishing a race and achieving your goals is more important than speed. Anyone willing to grow as a runner and in their everyday life is encouraged to join.
I find it hard to keep myself disciplined, so I like that they were so positive. I would say everybody's a runner and just start with walking. That's what I did, and I've gained some lifetime friends.
Members are not required to attend every training session, and the team tries to work around busy schedules. Members can also choose what races to run in. Above all, Ninja Endurance promotes loyalty to the team and hopes running changes people's lives.
You will never find meaning in life until you can find the meaning in the running that you do. I think that's what it helps you find that balance in life.
And just come out and join us for a training session. We're all really friendly. We love everyone on the team.
Life can be challenging, but with positive people around, you can find the motivation to keep going. For Studio G, I'm Maria Landeros.
For more information on how to become a member, visit ninjaenduranceracing.com.
Las Vegas is known as Sin City, but if you take a short drive up the mountains, a hidden beauty awaits you. Reporter Allison Whitley is here to tell us more.
The Las Vegas Ski and Snowboard Resort is just a short drive away from the Vegas Strip, but the snow makes you feel worlds away. With everything from lessons and equipment to exciting slopes, this is the perfect place to escape.
What a convenient amenity for the city of Las Vegas to have, something like snow. One for locals, it's great to get out of the city, and something that's not really, like uniquely Vegas. Like it really gives you a different vibe when you come up here.
Ski Patrol Peter Steinbrenner says that getting out of the city and up to the resort is something that every Vegas resident should experience.
This is something very different from what's typically done in Las Vegas. I think that this is a great outdoor activity and a great way to learn and appreciate the Spring Mountains.
Costing $50 for a full-day adult ticket, Las Vegas Ski and Snowboard Resort has a variety of trails that would interest any beginning boarder to advanced.
It has a great terrain park, and so it's a lot of fun for people that like to snowboard and use a terrain park. It also has some great off-piste skiing, and it's got great powder skiing up above if you're willing to hike.
One of those advanced boarders is UNLV Ski and Snowboard Club President Brandon Darley. He uses the resort for convenience.
For our location, it's great. We're 45 minutes outside of Vegas, 45 minutes off campus, so it's fun. You can't beat that at all. It's a good time. In Vegas, everyone's too caught up and going out a lot and partying. They don't really realize how much else there is outside the city.
This season, media director Jim Seeley states that the resort has added runs and continues to work on making the resort better.
We went from 16 runs to 30 runs from last year to this year, and that's just the beginning of the expansion. We have been written up as far as in ski magazines and whatnot for great side country, backcountry skiing.
Take the short hour trip out to Mount Charleston and enjoy the slopes. For Studio G, I'm Allison Whitley. Have a great day, Rebels.
Thank you, Allison. And that will do it for today's show.
Be sure to catch us here every weekday at noon. For Heather Fairberger, I'm Austin Thanks for watching. Goodbye.